up? I got Naskin here with me. This ain't a diss song, but yeah, you know what it is. I'm a cheesehead, y'all niggas cheese whiz. Pittsburgh Steelers, that's nothing. That Super Bowl ring, that's nothing. Pull up in your town when you.
Now we saw Rashawn Gary was back on the practice field today. Can you just kind of tell us what got him back, and did you feel like you kind of maybe dodged a bullet with what happened to him on the field out there in Oakland, probably in Winnipeg?
Yeah, no, we're extremely fortunate to have him back. You know, he got healthy, so he's back out there. But we're happy to have him back out there.
Man, you guys have added a lot of bodies in the last 2 or 3 days, in the last 2 or 3 days of camp. I mean, how realistic is it for you to get a decent look at these guys?
Yeah, no, it's tough because there's a lot of stuff that's getting thrown at those guys, but we're going to keep it simple for them. But more than anything else, we just wanted to see them go out, compete, give their best effort, and see what they can do.
Matt, with a guy like Jamal Williams, who hasn't played at all in the preseason yet, but he's not your number one guy with Aaron Jones, is he a guy that maybe you work into the game on Thursday night?
Yeah, we're not anticipating playing Jamal at all.
How come Bakhtiari missed practice yesterday? He was obviously back out there today.
I already told you guys I'm not talking about injuries. He's fine though. He was good to go today.
Sorry I'm late.
It's okay.
Do you have anything? Is it already over?
Pretty much.
About to be. Wow. Not knowing what else has been asked, I'd hate to repeat a question.
So I asked about Gary and Bakhtiari, so if you have anything else.
That's the extent of the press conference at this juncture? Okay. I think there's 5 quarterbacks that will start opening weekend without playing a single snap of preseason football. I know you're comfortable with your decision, obviously. Does that reassure you that you're not a lone man in the wilderness with that opinion? But
no, I think everybody's got to make the best decisions in terms of what's best for their football team. And, you know, the only other time I've been a part of something like this was in 2012 in Washington, or 2013 in Washington, going into Robert's second year. But again, you're talking about a young quarterback that was going into a second year and not a seasoned vet that we have. So, you know, every situation's a little bit different, but we feel good with where we're at right now.
what are the things that in practice you feel the best about replicating from a game, since you're not getting those game reps? Like, what are the things that you think come closest to approximating what you might have needed from preseason games?
Well, you know, if you look back, our 2 practices versus Houston were critical, and then we've had a lot of good competition periods versus our defense. And like I've said many times, our defense presents a lot of challenging looks and some stuff that you're not necessarily scouting against. And that's kind of true for the first few weeks of any NFL season, any game. There could be some looks that are going to be unscripted, that you're not quite sure exactly what you're going to get. And it really goes back to trusting your training and your rules. That's why we make rules for these guys.
Did you have the reason behind those competitive periods was because you like competition and you think it's valuable? Was it a bonus that it has kind of taken some of the place of the game reps? I mean, that wasn't why was that why you did it also?
Well, I think, yeah, it all plays hand in hand. Certainly, I think competition brings out the best in these guys, and it just ramps up the intensity level a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, everything we do is well thought out.
Matt, with the battle for the number 2 quarterback spot, obviously Tim started the last game. Are you going to go back to Deshaun to start in Kansas City, or have you made that decision yet?
Yeah, we haven't made that decision quite just yet.
Do you have a pretty good, you probably haven't told them yet either, so you don't want to tell us. Do you have a pretty good idea of how you want to divide up all the reps, though, so all 3 of those guys get some work?
Yeah, I think we got a good plan. I've talked to Nathaniel and Luke about it, and but we haven't put anything to paper yet, so to speak.
Can I jump at you in the last game here to solidify a spot or just will consistency kind of confirm those decisions, those types of things you're looking for?
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think we've all been in places, and I know, speaking for myself, in my past where, you know, somebody just absolutely steals the stage in that last game, and they might have been kind of on the outside looking in. They just have an unbelievable performance, and they steal one of those roster spots. So I think anything can happen all the way through.
And even though you're probably not going to see a lot of players against Oakland and Kansas City that you'll see in October, is there still some value in seeing what they do when you see them again in the regular season?
You know, at this stage of the game, I don't think there's that much, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be so much tape by the time we play those guys that we'll rely on the actual regular season games, not so much on the preseason game.
Matt, when you looked at the tape from Winnipeg, what was the biggest difference in the defense cutting down on the missed tackles and just being, you know, more sound with that part?
Yeah, I think it just was them finishing, running their feet on contact, and then also guys flying around and being around the ball carrier.
What is the value, other than the obvious thing that he would deserve to make the team, but an undrafted free agent type player makes your football team? What value does that bring to your team in terms of the message that it sends throughout the locker room and the organization?
Yeah, I think it sends that we're going to keep the best players. What we've told these guys from day one since they've been here is it doesn't matter how you got here. What matters is what you do when you are here. So, you know, we're going to let the play speak for each player and pick the best 53.
I just love my team. Yeah, that's the team with them big G's on